In this part, we are going to learn about how to create a product teaser with the help of 3D settings in After Effects. And let's have a look before starting. So to create this, what we have to do is first of all take a composition of the size around 1080 by 1080. I had chosen this as a square compositions, and also I have two things. First is stock footage, which just simply create a smoke effect like this. You can find this on YouTube or any other places. And also I have a simple PNG image of a shoe. You can use any of the shoe images, but make sure it's PNG as it don't have any background. So to start, first of all, just drag it over here. And after that, first of all, let's create a camera to give it more proper effect of 3D. So let's go on the new, and you will find over here a camera. We can just uncheck this lock to zoom. We can change its zoom and also, but let's start with the head. Okay, and it's okay. And now it's asked for the 3D layer, as in this composition there is no any 3D layer. So for that, let me just first of all change the background color to white around like this. And now over here you will find there's an option for the 3D layer. Then just simply click over here, and now it's in 3D. Why I am using this word 3D in After Effects, let me show you why. So for that, I will just go over here and just divide the preview into two other parts, and you will find there is a camera, and there is also a 3D layer. And now let me just get you a custom view, and you will see it's in 3D now. That is have the three axis X, Y, and Z. And also you will find there's a box over here, which is the camera. Now let's get back to the active camera view and change it to one view, as we have this 3D shoe layer. And first of all, let me just animate it like around. First of all, let me create a depth first. So I will just change it to view again, and now that view I will just change it to top view, as I can able to see it from top. See, and now I will just simply place Control plus D to duplicate these layers. Like this, and I will just duplicate another layer over here, as we have to create the depth of field. So I have to just create a random positioning of the images like this, and we just rotate a bit, scale it down like this. And now to give it a depth of field effect, what I have to do is I have to do a bit of setting in cameras. For that, just go in the camera option, and over here just on this thing, this is depth of field. And now first of all, just make the focus distance to 0, and also aperture to 0, as first of all. So this is the same setting work as your camera work, as it also has a focus thing, and aperture give able to give, if you see over here, if I increase the aperture a bit more, and if I just move the focus to this, then you will able to see that my this image is a bit sharpened, and the other images were a bit blurry. So let me just full the resolution for the both of the composition, so that you can see it more clear. And you see it has a perfect focused view, and these all were like not so like blurry. So it has created the depth of field effect. And now these are the camera setting which we are going to use. As let me just increase the aperture a bit more, so to make it a more like 3D. Now You are now able to see these of the images. So let me just duplicate some of these products also, and then we will animate it with, and let me just duplicate this and put it over here somewhere. Let me just rotate it but more, scale it down, Control plus D, and I will just, so if you see at this point of view, then you will able to find that the whole products were in Z space right now, like this. They had a particular spaces, a difference between them, a distance between them actually. So let me just go in the first, second view, on top view. And now we have to animate this as the whole things where just came up and rotate a bit twist and then fell down. So to create that, what I have to do is I have to create a null object thing. So first of all, let me just rename the main shoe. So to do that, just simply press enter and name it as main, and then the rest of where the only the images. And now let me just do a bit of distance thing so that we see our product more clear, like this. Also we can change its color, but now let me just animate this first. So if you go in this part, and you will see the whole things come up straightforward, as the other have the motion, but this has no any motion. So let me just keep it like this and create a new null object. Just, so now let's animate the shoe as I had linked it with the, and from now what you have to do is we have to, after linking these whole 3D layers to the null object, we have to animate it. So for that I will just add a position key over here, and I will just simply put it down like this. So, and then at around 1 second we'll just keep it back to the original position, as I want it to go a bit high, and after around half of the second just get back to the normal, like this. To make it more smooth, we have to do a bit of easy ease. So like, I'll just go over here, just press F9. Now it's working, and now I will use a simple like around slight of movement, like going down. So I will just over here, I will put this thing a bit up, and at around 10 seconds or something, just drop down like this. Perfect. And now while moving this, I need this other shoes to be rotate a bit. So for that, I will just select the whole layers and press R for the rotation. And at this point, I will just add a Z rotation in all of them, as around at this point, I will just randomly change its position like this, this, delete this and keep the whole thing to be over here. Let's delete like this, move it a bit down like this. Oh, sorry. Up. Now let's have a look. Press F9 to give it a bit smooth effect. Perfect. And also I want my main shoe also to be, uh, move a bit, or I mean rotate a bit. So I will just go over here, and at this point I will just press R for the rotation, and I will just simply rotate it a bit around. -15 or something. I will just keep it to F9. Perfect. And now suddenly if you find my whole thing like move a bit down suddenly, and to create that effect what I have to do is I have to animate the like put the shoe down, and also the camera will go down. So for that I have to increase the composition size. So I will just simply press right click, but first of all let me create a new composition with the same settings and all, and I will just keep this time duration to around 10 seconds. Let me just keep it to 00. You can create your own animation timeline, like you can keep it for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, but usually the motion teasers remains for the 5 to 10 seconds. And now after that I will just simply go in the composition first where we had created the animation and all. I will just simply drag this composition over here, and you will find that it's working quite good. And now I will just simply go in the composition one and simply right click composition setting, and I will just change its height to around 3 times, like multiply the height 3 times, like into 3, and press OK. Then you will see this like this, as you will find it more clear that the whole thing is moving in Z space like this. So it's like in the first earliest I need to put them more down. So in composition 2 you will able to see it like this, but it's good. Now after that you see it's working right now, and now I have to just move all of the object as my shoe drops. So for that what we have to do is go in the null object. I don't need now it now. We'll just keep it like this, and then I will just select the main shoe, and also I will position it over here as stayed, and from this point to around 4 seconds or something, simply just get down and bang the floor like this. We'll just increase its speed like this, and at this point I also wanted to be move it a bit, so I'll just press U to see the both keys, and I will just put this right like this. And now at this moment I want it to be this like this, and at this point I want it to be 0. You see it's just landed, but I will give it a bit flexible effect sooner. But first let me just arrange the movement of the shoe with the composition actually. So now we'll just go in the composition and put the camera over here. As you see it's working right now in the Z space. Now I will have to just select the camera, press P, and just as we don't need this camera actually, to only just animate this thing. So just press P for the position and select this composition, and the point where it start moving, like at this point, select it, the F9. I'll just simply move this whole composition a bit up like this. So now we have the animation like this. To give it a bit of bang effect, what I have to do, I have to use a simple tool over here, which we called it corner pen, like puppet pin tool. And at this motion where the shoe will bang the floor, I'll just simply increase the time a bit. So like this, perfect. Now at this point, I wanted to be pin to be activated, so I will just put a pin over here, 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 and here. Now you will see it's a bit flexible now. So now at this point, you'll find there's a puppet pin actually worked over here. So if you press U, then you will find the keys of the pins actually uh, keyed over here. And now at the point where it's going to bang the floor, I just needed this to collide like this. So I have to change the rotation like this, and then first of all, just as this part hit the ground, it's work fine. This is the top part, so I will just drag this. And it's getting a bam. So we'll just simply press F9 to slow it a bit. Now in the composition, let's have a look. Perfect. And at this point, if you enable this motion blur option, then you will find the whole thing in a bit blurry position like this, like this. Perfect. I have to do a bit of thing like to hide this portion over here. So for that, I will just go in the composition first. And at this point, I will just simply just select this thing and press position from this position. And at this point, I need it to move from the frame like this. Now you will find nothing over in this. Perfect. And after that, as it's banged the ground, we need a shockwave over here. So this footage will help me over that. So now just go over here, here, and we have to create a bit of shadow over here. So for that, I will need a solid actually. So I will just uh, right click new and solid and just change its color to black. Okay. And at this point, I will just select Eclipse tool and just simply create a mask, put it behind these. And now I will just use F for the feather and increase it like this. And with the help of mask, I just need it to be around opacity. So as I have to increase the opacity, as at this point there is no shadow, so I will just keep it put it 0, and the point where it bang, I will increase its shadow around this, like this. So let me just select them, put it a bit up, like this. And also I have to increase its size also. So for that I will use the mask and press M for the mask path, and then I will just drag it over here, and at this point I will just simply make it very small, like this. So if you will see, find the animation like this. Now you need this smoke to be placed over here. Just crop the smoke part actually. So I will just use Ctrl Shift D to trim it. Then it's done. So at the point, just drag it like this, put it on the top, and use key light to remove the green screen. As now to put it over here. Now I need another effect called tint to give it a bit of shady color. Around I need this to be a bit of gray like this. Perfect. So I can see this, as I need this to be done at this point. So I will just align it to the shoe. And also I will just use a time stretch option. Just trim it like this. Perfect. Now let's have a look in over here. And also after that I will change its color also. So for that, what you have to do is just click over here, and over here just select hue, and I will just put it on the main, and if you just rotate it, you will change its color too. So I will just key the hue channel actually. So I will just key it at this point, and on 6 point I need to change its color very fast. Now let's trim it to this. Also, you can change the color of the other shoes. Select this hue option and place on them. Change their color also, like blue for this one. Select this one. Change its color. Perfect. So now let's have a look. And bang. Now after that, I want this logo to be shine a bit. So for that, I will use one more thing. I will just go over here in the main comp. I will just duplicate this whole thing. And at this point, I will just go in a mask option. I will just simply create a mask on this. One view. So now I just separated this logo actually to give it a light sweep. So I will use a CC light sweep on that. I will just drag it over here, and over here find the center like this. Then you will see a line passes through like this. We'll just simply increase the width, decrease the width like this, increase the intensity this. And now I have to animate this, the point where it's just down, and after changing the color, now 4 seconds to around, just put it over here, and I will key the center, and from that point to this one, simply do this. So let's see in the final position. Perfect. And also, while this color were changing, we can also add the text effect also. So I will just use a simple like run. Just put it over here, increase its size, and also change its font style also. You can also change its font style to anything you wanted. Like for me, I can keep it like this or something else, and change its color to, I guess, black. After that, just go in the effect presets, then write effect called bullet train, and just drag it over here. See, so let's see our final preview. Hope you had enjoyed this part. Thank you very much. See you in the next part very soon.